All right, right now, folks, we're going to jump over to our man Tim Ward. We talk to Tim every Tuesday and Thursday at 3:30, folks. You can reach Tim at his website, ord-oracle.com, every trading day. And you can also check out under the services tab right at TFNN.com. A couple great webinars. The 6 secret ratios every trader should know. Tim references some of these when we talk. That's SPY VIX on there. And the secret science and market tops. Check out those webinars as well. Tim Ward, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So, got some kind of, so far there are minor divergences going on, and we were long from June 25th, and we got out yesterday. Not a huge sign here, but we got some divergence in the first chart. This is the SPY. Bottom window is the VIX. Top window is the SPX VIX ratio. Let me get a drawing to it here. But anyhow, when the SP goes up, the VIX is supposed to go down. And when the SP goes down, the VIX is supposed to go up. So anyhow, if you look at the bottom window here, since I think this goes back to there's a 10th, so this would be last Friday, I guess last Friday's trading to today's trading. The S&Ps, we did back off, but from wherever that low was, which is probably Friday, the market kind of made higher highs, higher lows on the SPYs. If you notice the VIX, which is also trading with the SPYs, is making higher highs, higher lows too. And that's a divergence. You know, we hit a new high today, and the VIX did not even come close to hitting a new short-term low. So we're at minimum going sideways here, but the uptrend's probably done, at least for now. How much done, I don't know. But especially if we break a new high and you can't hold it, day's not over yet. We've got a half hour to go, but most likely, this is what they call an up thrust. If you can't hold up above the previous high, they'll try to take out the previous low. Well, the previous low on this case is just July 8th low, which is not very far from where we are, which, I don't know, 620 or approximately 620 range in that vicinity. So that'd be a minimum downside target. So that's a 39-minute VIX or 39-minute chart. So it's just a divergence. I thought I took it off. There's another reason why, because seasonality is actually turning bearish here this week, and seasonality can vary from several days before, several days after. I don't know. We're running into seasonality that's going to be bearish, or it's very bearish right now. We're into a period that seasonality is not good, so that's the reason why I kind of took it off. We flipped the chart too. I always like to have two different indicators kind of giving me the same signal, ideally. And this is the SPX VIX ratio, and I think this is a daily chart. I'm pretty sure it's a daily. Yeah, it is a daily chart. But I do this ratio, so this is the equity market against the gold market. And I use it several different ways. If it goes one direction too fast, it's usually halts either the direction. If you're going up, it usually halts the decline or halts the advance. If it's going down too fast, it halts the decline. And I kind of, in this case, I just marked the times when the RSI got above 70, and this goes back to, looks like about a year or so. And all those lines across the chart are times when the RSI got above 70. We're currently around 71 right now, or 77 right now. So even though this indicator really zoomed up, which is actually kind of a bullish situation, it zoomed up too fast. And so it needs to get back to around 50 before really giving a great signal. But it does show a short-term exhaustion to the upside. And it does pretty well picking out short-term highs. There's one. This is back in May. Looked like about a 2-week decline. This is, I don't know, a week or two. And anyhow, in general, it'll pick out, approximately a week, sometimes longer. Sometimes they come at significant highs. So anyhow, I'm thinking the upside for the SPY, because of the VIX and the SPX tilt ratio, both hit extremes. The market's at best is going to flip sideways here. Will it turn into a top? I think it will. Maybe not this week, but maybe next week or something. I think it'll at least flip sideways here. So why take the chance and see if it works or not? I'm thinking I'll just take it out. And there's enough information here to say, do you want a short? No, I don't think so, because I don't think the downside's really anything here yet. But I had another chart here that I was going to show you where the downside was, and what I did was put two of the same charts in here, so I don't have it here. But what I'm thinking is going to happen here is we're at least going to go back down, probably to the breakout area, and probably find support and try to go up again. But if you notice, from April low up to the July high, we went virtually straight up, and we need time to build cause for the next rally. So I think we're just going to flip sideways here for, I bet September, October. We're just not going to do anything. And that's kind of what seasonality is saying too. So I think we're hit a top, but we're not really going to go down much. I think the previous high comes around 608, 609 on the SPY, and I think we'll see that area at least once, maybe twice, maybe more. But it's not the time to be really long, and I don't think there's a big short here either. So it's just it's going to bore you to death, and people are becoming uninterested. But I do think another rally is coming that is probably as big as from the April low up to the July high, and I think that rally could start in October. So I think there's fuel to the upside. Previously, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say that perked my ears up, but then it got me anyway. Okay, well that's quite a move. I mean, were you listening? I'm not sure if you were listening to Basil. He was on right before you. The weekly charts, just like you're talking about, the run was just so tremendous. There was almost no pullback. Basil works with peaks and pullbacks, and you're talking about a move on the S&Ps, and we know just a gigantic move, barely any pullback. Yeah, remarkable.
Yeah, so there's always a B way somewhere. The market can't keep going straight up.
No,
it just needs to consolidate. It needs fear to be able to build up here a little bit too. And I think all that's going to come in between now and September, October. I hear the music.
Okay, folks, hang tight. We're going to come back with Tim. We'll talk a little bit of gold. And yeah, that VIX was spiking on Monday. I was thinking of you yesterday, Tim, when that VIX was up above 17. The market clawed back all of its losses, and the VIX was staying elevated yesterday. And right now you're above 17. VIX at 1706. S&P's off 14. We're coming back with Tim. Don't go away, folks. Welcome back, folks. We get the S&P's off by 13. Market chopping around a bit. Right now, the session lows we had at about 1 o'clock as well, but S&P's in the red and NASDAQ slightly in the green with NVIDIA plowing higher today. You jump over NVIDIA, up by 4% still at 170.51. We're talking to our man Tim Ord, and we're going to talk a little bit of gold. All right, Tim, we got a little action today in gold. What are we looking at for gold, please?
All right, this is the XAU. I just want to keep pointing this out because I do some stuff on X and Twitter, and there's kind of rapid. They're starting to get a little rapid. There's kind of deniers out there that the rally's over. The rally's not over, but it is over on short term. But anyhow, this is a June close on the RSI for the XAU on the monthly time frame, and I want to. I keep pointing this out. Nobody believes it, but these are the times. This chart goes back to 1988. It shows all the times when the RSI closed above 70. And we did here again on June 30th. So it's extended to the upside. It's not like, we're in a bear market or anything. All the momentum's up. But I still bet we get a pullback to on the XAU probably around 75, and we'll start going up again. Here's some more proof. This is the monthly GDX. If you look at the April, we got out in the April high about mid-April. Got around 50. Anyhow, if you get above 80% above the upper Bollinger Band on the monthly chart, which is basically in this vicinity right there, give or take, it was up around 52 on this case. And usually you're too far away from the average, because from the mid Bollinger Band to the upper Bollinger Band, it's 2 standard deviations. If you get 80% above that, it's about 3 standard deviations, and that's just too stretched. And usually the market comes back down and gets back to that upper Bollinger Band. And that's where we kind of are. That's where we hit basically in June. But yeah, this high in June tested the April high. If you notice, you had a big drop in volume. So you had a retest previous high on lighter volume. I think it was like a 20-30% drop in volume, and you closed above the previous high. Well, if you can't go get above the previous high with volume, you try to take out the previous low with volume. That also happens to be the April low. It gives a target around 40. The weekly charts give around 45, but the monthly charts give a chart around 40. I've been saying for a while that at some point we're probably going to see 40. I do think we're going to see 40 probably sometime this year to get the next rally going up higher. We're not near of any top of any consequence other than this pullback. So it's around 50 to 40, so you're looking at 25% pullback. That's a normal pullback in a bull market, so it's nothing to fret about. But these are the big ones are going to pull back. Matter of fact, I think I got one here.
And if I can just say, Tim, because it's great information, and it does seem like, oh man, that's a wild pullback, right? 51 to 40, and then I'm looking at the charts as you're looking at them, and it's remarkable that the GDX was at $33 to like almost kick off the year last year. So only pulling back to 40 from 33 in December up to 51, as in you have a little volatility. But yeah, you're talking about that would still be almost $6 and change up off the lows we had on that pullback into December, which is remarkable too. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's, you don't want markets to go straight up. If they go parabolic, that's the end of the move. And that's what happens at the very end. It's just onslaught of straight up, and then once that ends, the whole the bull market's over. So you don't want that to happen here. You want basically bounce off some previous highs, try to take out some previous lows, and start the next uptrend. But there's a lot of stocks you just.
I was just saying, if it becomes irrational, eventually it's going to correct. Now, it might extend in terms of how long that takes, but yeah, that irrational kind of parabolic deal. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets parabolic. It's usually a bad omen. Here's another thing, too. This is a bullish percent index for the gold miners index. Bullish percent index measures the percent of stocks that are in point and figure buy signals. So basically, back in, June 5th of this year, anything above 95%, this hit 96.43. It's usually you get a consolidation. So this is a different indicator. Here we flip sideways, which I think we're probably going to do. Here we're going to kind of more or less flip sideways. The other ones were actually decent tops. But another indicator, nothing related to volume or price. It's just a bullish percent index, and it hit above 95%. So it's just going to take a rest. So anyhow, that's more evidence. And so let's get back here. This is AEM. It kind of looks like GDX in April. This is April high right here. If you notice, the volume is really big, and it tested that high in June, and much lower volume. So you can't take out the previous high. I'll try to take out the previous low. Previous low looks like about 95. So that's probably where we're going. So the big ones, the big one's been, this started off in, 40 range, 40, 45 range, and ran to 125,
Wow.
So, at some point, you're going to have a B wave, and we're probably going into a B wave right now. So,
and I have to say, it's remarkable too. This company, folks, is a $60 billion company. So, it's not like it's $100 million junior miner, right? You just went from 45 to 125, and you're pushing that type. I mean, just tremendous value. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyhow, kind of the same thing. GDX, 8% above the Bollinger Band, which is probably up in this range. So close to 125. Keep kind of a signal. Then you got to test. So it's due for consolidation. That's the big one. So I'm kind of pointing out some small ones here that really haven't had their run yet. This is Doofus, or I can't quite, Dewey Bench. It's a silver stock, and it's a monthly chart. And really, since 2016, it really hadn't done anything. It just went sideways, and that's a lot of cause. And I picked out these. You can't quite tell for sure, but this pattern here. This is a auto supply company, I think, or something like that. So it's not related to the gold market. But this next one is KEM, which kind of had a similar pattern, went sideways for years, and both of them had volume kind of like this. as the thing went sideways, volume increased. So stock charts didn't allow me to put volume on both these charts. What this is similar patterns. You know, pattern
Sure.
identification. So that's what these are. So these are three unrelated stocks, all showing the same pattern. And once they broke out above the trend lines here, where I tried to do that, you know, this one went from 17 up to about 30, give or take, somewhere up here in 30. It took, I don't know, it looks like about 9 months to go. This one's just breaking out right now. I think it's probably going to go to, 50, 60 up in that vicinity. It's breaking out. You got a long base. The longer the base, normally the longer the rally. So if you got a base that's 2-3 weeks, you're not expecting a multi-year rally. But if you get a base of a multi-year rally, you're talking, minimum multi-month, if not a multi-year rally. Normally when you break above these areas, they go up to the previous high, which is around 8. And I think this one's breaking out right now.
DVS, those silver stocks, man, it would make sense. Silver's reacting well. They had quite a bid last week. Tim, I appreciate the education as always, man, and I look forward to talking to you on Thursday.
All right, talk to you then. Thanks a lot.
Take care. Folks, check him out, or at -oracle.com, or right under the services tab. He's got 2 webinars, tremendous value. Check him out at TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.